Hello everyone, it's ya boy here, back with another hitbox analysis video. Today we'll be taking a look at the most requested character I've ever gotten. That being none other than GIGA Bowser. Now, GIGA Bowser has been making quite some waves in recent times. He is without a doubt the strongest character in the game, completely centralizing the metagame. It's very strange that he has somehow avoided the nerf hammer for so long. He's been seen in pretty much every top 8 ever since the game came out. But why has this large lizard made such an uproar? Perhaps his hitboxes hide the truth. Why don't we find out? Today's hitboxes were made by Eyedonutz, who also helped with data stuff, thanks for that. There are links in the description. Now, it's worth noting that GIGA Bowser is a very peculiar character. Much like his inferior Echo Fighter Bowser, he also has armor. However, whereas Bowser only has armor up to a certain point, GIGA Bowser has complete knockback immunity, and also uses an entirely different system for losing stocks, that being stamina. A quite bold design decision in my opinion, but as we know from Lil Mac, it's usually the most polarizing characters that turn out to be top tier, in which Lil Mac would probably be the best character in the game had it not been for his awful matchup against GIGA Bowser. Now for footage, I'll be using tournament sets, seeing how I have not unlocked GIGA Bowser on my Switch yet. I mean, the unlock requirements are pretty absurd. Beating 50 fighters in Cruel Smash while holding your Switch upside down, on a Monday no less? Honestly, it's kinda ridiculous. But anyways, it's about time we get into the hitboxes, so let's begin. GIGA Bowser has one of those unusual jabs that are basically just tilts. It's just 2 hits, a single slash in front of him and an actual launcher. The first hit keeps you in place before the second one launches you away. The first hit has no base knockback but has 70 units of fixed knockback, meaning it will pretty much always have the same knockback regardless of percent. The second one, however, has normal knockback and does not have any fixed knockback. It's always important for big characters to have relatively fast options, and big really is the keyword here. Now, as you've probably noticed by now, GIGA Bowser's frame data is exceptionally bad. Just his F-tilt takes 41 frames to come out. This is kind of a trend with GIGA Bowser. In being unable to take knockback, he was heavily hampered in the frame data department. The hitbox is obviously massive. Even if it might look small, just remember that GIGA Bowser is like 3 times the size of an average fighter. The hitbox lingers between frame 41 and 44, making it very good for 2-framing. Aside from that, it's an important part of GIGA Bowser's neutral. Now, up tilt is where it really starts to get crazy. The move has 4 hitboxes. On the first frame, the move covers not only above GIGA Bowser, but also in front of him. The red hitbox is a sweet spot dealing 16%, whereas the other deal 15 and 12%. The move continues as GIGA Bowser does an arm swipe above his head. The move is a great anti-air option, getting rid of pretty much any character in close vicinity, though it does have a bit of a blind spot behind him, so do be careful. In the theme of GIGA Bowser being a very unorthodox character, he simply lacks a down tilt. He just doesn't have one. So I won't spend too much time talking about it. So instead, let's talk about Richter's down tilt. Man, that sure is a cool down tilt. Like, how did that even happen? And wow, look, we did it again. What a good move on a good character. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, GIGA Bowser. Next up is F Smash, which is quite the powerhouse of a move. It's got 2 hitboxes, a sweet spot and a sour spot. The sour spot activates earlier than the sweet spot before GIGA Bowser's head is brought down to the ground. However, the hitbox hits the ground, the sweet spot comes out, and boy does it hurt. I mean, the hitbox is frame 60, so it's not too surprising, but it sure does deal a ton of knockback and damage. Up smash has 2 parts of the move. The first hitboxes appear after he jumps off the ground. It is worth mentioning that he is partially invincible during the rising part, so there's no point challenging that. Not like you would have been able to anyway given its size. The hitbox while he's rising is a massive, very powerful hitbox that just kinda kills you. When he lands, there is a smaller hitbox covering the ground just in case that first massive hitbox that covers like half the stage missed. Down smash is a multi-hit move with a bunch of different hitboxes. They all try to keep you on the spot until the launcher comes out. It has a ton of range with it covering pretty much his entire body, and having a pretty stupid amount of active frames. The launcher looks like this, but it isn't super powerful all things considered. It does freeze you for some reason, but it's not like he can really combo out of it, so I don't really know why it's like this. It's a pretty solid move for those narrow situations where you just need to cover 50% of the stage in hitboxes. His forward air is pretty gnarly. It's got 3 hitboxes starting way behind him, swiping all the way in front of him, and is even active when it comes back under his body. It reminds me a lot of Shulk's forward air. It's just a massive hit in front of him that just pretty much guarantees to hit because of its massive range and disjoints. It does have an equally massive amount of landing lag, so you should be able to punish it. If the move didn't just kill you, that is. His back area is certainly interesting. It's just a massive hitbox launching away, and that is pretty much it. It does seem to have a landing hitbox with slightly less range, though this one is significantly weaker. Surprisingly enough, this is one of his fastest moves coming out on frame 17. Yet again with his aerials, Giga Bowser lacks a down variant. Or a neutral air for that matter, simply just not having either. So obviously there's not too much to say on the matter. The only strange thing about them is that the moves do actually have landing lag data programmed, but the moves just don't exist, so that's kinda weird I guess. For his specials, first we have Flying Slam, which is a command grab that can be used not only in the air but also on the ground, and his grab range is pretty solid as well. This move is pretty scary since opponents are very likely to try to shield a lot against Bowser, because of, well, there being hitboxes all over the place. After he grabs you, he does like a sick flip, it's pretty cool, and then he launches you away and you die. Good move, 10 out of 10. Up B is pretty great too. It would have been a pretty great out of shield option, but on the account of him not having a shield, I guess it's just kind of another option. When used on the ground, his hitboxes are not just massive, but Giga Bowser is also intangible, because not taking knockback and having unbeatable hitboxes is just not good enough, I guess. In the air, it's just kinda worse in every way, so I don't really know why you would ever want to do that. I mean, if you're off stage, you can just zoom, right? Like as a hero main, that's what I always do. It works every time. Lastly, there is down B. On the ground, the first part of the move only has a single hitbox early on, and it's not exactly something to write home about. It's probably one of his smallest hitboxes overall, but it still is like the size of Cloud's up air, so I wouldn't exactly say it's a huge drawback. The hitbox launches into the second part of the move, which is where Bowser drops down and just kinda murders you. The hitbox is massive, covering like half of Giga Bowser's body. When used in the air, he just instantly goes into the second part. But here the hitbox is a little smaller. Since the hitbox is so big, I recommend using your shield against this move. It worked for me a lot of the time, even if I got like stunned afterwards. I don't know why that happens, but at least I didn't get hit by it, and that's what's the most important. Anyways, that's all of Giga Bowser's hitboxes. By now it should be pretty clear why Giga Bowser is the best character in the game. I mean, he not only deals so much damage, but his hitboxes are pretty nuts. As for advice on how to beat Giga Bowser, I recommend trying to avoid his incoming attacks and punishing him afterwards. A lot of the time I see people just get hit by moves when they could have avoided them, so I would recommend doing that more. But that's about it for now. If there's a character you want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments so I can ignore it and do whatever I want anyways. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.